Before we get started, shouts out to all my current parents, about to be parents, step parents, adopted parents, everyone in parenthood. Shouts out to you all. This one is a little bit. The word I'm thinking of is spicy, but I don't use spicy, so I shouldn't say spicy. But this is a topic that will ruffle some feathers, I think, and it's how we use our kids on social media. Now, before I dive into this topic, if it's one thing I've learned from being a parent currently, is that there's not one right way to parent. So when I'm giving my opinions and speaking on this issue, it's merely my thoughts and what I believe. It's not a right way. It's not a wrong way. Will that go up in debate? Will I get confused? For sure. But just know that that's all this is. This whole show, this podcast, this is not about trying to teach you how to parent and teach you how to. It's just giving you my perspective, and hopefully you could take what you want from it, disagree, agree with what you want. So, with that being said, I'm very iffy when it comes to posting my kid on social media. And I had this thought before I had kids. I just always thought it was I just always thought it was strange how people consistently posted things about their kids, like information and stuff, right? And it's trendy at the same time. Okay, so let's get into it, right? So first, my rule of thumb has always been I'm only posting my kid on a page that I have private, right? That may sound normal for most, but some people's social medias are public, for whatever reason. So I was never posting it on my Who Got the Aux Instagram page or TikTok or anywhere where anyone has access to my page, only the private page. But then when I had my daughter, because let me speak first. My wife and I, we did we're having a baby video montage and walking out the hospital montage. We did the gender reveal, color and music. Like, we created content through our pregnancy, right? And I would say that we create content. Clearly you're listening or watching me, and she makes content as well. So it was more out of creating content and of course enjoying the moment and excited for what was to come, and less about likes, clicks, and going viral. And I'll get to that later on about the intent on even how you use your kids. But let me back it up some. So I did all that stuff. So I'm not one of those anti-internet, I don't post stuff. This is a realization I just had once I had a kid. To the point of posting on private pages. The first 6-7 months, I'm posting myself walking my daughter, me and her working from home, just random things with random captions and pictures I thought was cute and pictures I thought was funny, or videos. I did all that. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I wasn't on that side. I completely understand those who still do it and who will still do it after they hear this. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying this is a right or wrong way. This is just my mindset. So I started off posting a lot, on my private pages. And if you ask most people, like, why do you post? My reasoning, and most people's reasoning, is you just want to keep people up to date, especially on like Facebook. That's where I have older people, aunts, uncles, cousins, people you went to school with. For me, at least, I have like 300 friends on Facebook. So like my Facebook is very personal as far as who's on there. I don't have random person from third period 10 years ago. I've cleared that out. So that's why I was doing it. And then, you just kind of want to show your journey, and, you get messages when people laugh, like, my kid did that or my daughter. So you're just kind of relating to the parents and all that. I get all that. All right. So posting on private pages was my belief. But then even then, it was still discreet in a way. I never understood. And this is a trend where you're telling what school your kid goes to, the grade they're in, their favorite color, their favorite cartoon. Like, these are all things that only in-house people you trust should know, because that information in the wrong hands can be costly, right? Where they go, what grade they're in, school, their colors, their favorite. Like, you're giving a lot of information away, but it's trendy That's what everybody do. They create the nice board. They create the picture from their first day to their last day, and it's pretty cool. I told you, I get both sides. So you're gonna hear me. It's gonna sound like I'm double talking, but I'm just a person who understands, who is able to understand both sides. So I'm not gonna demean either one. But that's what people do. And to me, I was like, okay, that's a lot. I don't think I would do that because what I just said, that's a lot of information, even on a private page. Like, if you really go and look at your friends list today, there's probably a good 5% of people that just should not be on there, whether you have not talked to them or physically seen them, or they're just different people, or they just kind of got grandfathered in as your page grew. And those people, you wouldn't want to know anything about your kid. At least I wouldn't, right? So one of the first things I did, and I'm still doing, is just clean up social media. Like, I have no hard feelings against people if I removed you or delete. That's just what I'm doing these days. Like, I don't follow those rules of I don't have to do anything. If we're not having some type of relationship or conversation, I don't think I should follow you and you should follow me. Like, this is social media. It's the internet. It's Instagram, it's Facebook, it's TikTok. You can make videos and pictures and GIFs and do all type of stuff. And you just want to have an account and sit and just watch people's stories. That's strange, but whatever. That's another topic. That's a social media topic. But the trendy thing is what throws me off with the kids, right? Because that's why a lot of people do it. It's a trendy thing. The way my brain goes is, okay, every time I watch commercials now, I can't see it no other way than billion-dollar corporations attacking children, right? Think of a cereal commercial. Think of a box of cereal. It's a known thing that, like, Captain Crunch, Fruity Pebbles, Fruit Loops, Frosted, that is just all nonsense to suggest that is for breakfast. And then also create cartoon characters and voiceovers, and they go on these wild cartoony adventures. That's not for us, right? That's not for us. That's for kids. So then you have to ask, if now as adults, we know that cereal, those ones with the characters, they're great, Toucan saying all that, we know that is just a bunch of nonsense. Look at the ingredients, a bunch of nonsense. And we know it. And people in FDA, they all know it. Then it goes, it's one thing to allow us to sell it and to purchase it, but it's another thing to market that brand to children. Hot Cheetos, Chester Cheeto, like they all have cartoon characters. That's for kids. That's not for us. So then to bring that back, when you're telling me that, hey, this is a trend where we show our grade and all that, most of the time we don't even know where these trends originate from. But if we're living in a time where people, billion-dollar corporations, people with all the money in the world, they can do any type of advertisement, and they dumb it down to cartoons, that says a lot. Who's to say this trend isn't to do the same thing, right? You think about Hollywood, you think about the entertainment industry. How often do we hear Justin Bieber, the Nickelodeon doc that just came out, the Olsen twins, the Macaulay Culkin and Michael Jackson as a kid. Like, we hear these crazy stories about what the industry did to famous kids with all the eyes on them, still was able to behind the scenes do crazy stuff. And then you circle that back to, you're just putting your kid, dress them all up nice, into the world that's evil, right? For a trend that we know could come from commercials. So those are the first two things that I kind of attached, is like, there is an understanding with harming children in a sense. Let's not even talk about the shootings at schools and how they're handling that with the kids, right? But there's like an understanding. It's almost like, that's the industry. You're a model. You get in at 18, you got to know it's going to be sharks. Yeah, that's just how it goes. It's like, no, that shouldn't be normalized. Harming of children from powerful people will do wild stuff to kids. So that's on my brain as far as how much access, how easy I'm going to make it for an evil person. And I'm saying billions of dollar industries, but also random people, your old classmate who was one person at 17. I unfortunately been out of high school for 17 years now, 50, 60. I have no clue how long. 2008. So whoever I graduate in 2008, if I don't have a relationship with them, which is a lot of your social media, like I have 300 followers, and I feel like I could still tweak some. Some of y'all have like over thousands of followers. You can't tell me that you can account for every person's mental when it comes to like children, and if they're pedophiles or if they're weird or if they're into trafficking. You can't, right? So that will already give me hesitation to just ploy the kids onto social media. And at the same time, I understand, like, it's part of our lives. You can't walk around thinking, what if? That's scary. You got to just live. And some people, it's controlled. I know all my friends. Some people will answer and say, you're wrong. Like, I know all the people on my social media. I'm cool. It's all family. And to that, I say, cool. You're aware and you're controlling the situation. But I'm willing to bet there's a lot more people who are just, I picture it like a factory. You know, when a factory makes something and they just go, and they, like a doll, add arms, send it down. Like, you're just baby. And then there's a package, right? A lot of people make pages immediately for their kids. And someone would say, from a business standpoint, get them involved, start making money early. I get it. I get that. I just want to say that. Back to the point, some people will make pages for their kids. Some people, and then be talking and trying to do endorsement deals and all that, which I'm going to talk about in a second too. Some people will put their kids out after the pages. We'll get the monthlies, right? And I tried that. I think at about month 3, I was like, I'm not doing this, bro. Shouts out to y'all that keeps that monthly thing, 2 months. I crawled today, bro. When I tell you how I was so tired, and then not only are you tired all the time, and I'm getting off, I'm gonna get back on. Like, usually you want them sleep, because if they're up, they're crying, they're moving, they're, at 2-3 months, neck control. And so I'm like, wait, so we finally got this mug down and you want me to now take this fragile package and try to put it on a pill? I'm not doing that. I've seen a lot of people just do it, just a shot, they wide awake, whatever. I get that too. So, but I was just like, I was too tired. They do the monthly thing. So now we know, like, 3 months, 4 months, said that 5 months. And it's just like, okay. And then from there, I've seen people in hospitals with the wristband on, with the newborn right there. Like, they're giving you information from the jump. I'm like, are you even checking to see if your wristband info is blocked out? Probably not, because it's a lot going on. We get from out of the body. We are aware online. The moment is ours. It's no longer the 2 people that had the kid. That is our moment. And you follow that kid from here to the monthly, to some teeth, some first holidays, matching pajamas, pumpkin patch, to school sports. And now we know the team they play for. Like, you really giving a lot of information out. And so that's where my hesitation also comes. Like, am I a celebrity? Is somebody, like, I'm not thinking that someone wants my kid, but it's my kid. So I think my kid is as precious as if I was a cajillionaire and people wanted to kidnap my kid. I think that about my kid. Yeah. She's very, 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 very precious to me. So I will move accordingly for something that is very precious. So those are the first 2 things. Like, from the outside, you got, I use those 2 examples, Hollywood and, commercials, TV, television, entertainment, right? Those would be some things to think about. Think about it. If you're one of those people and you do the social, just think about it. Like, I never thought about that. Now, the other 2 points is, it's my opinion, but it's also my observation. Obviously, I'm not going to say any names or point any fingers, but like, I don't speak on things unless I observed it and saw it a few times to make sure I'm seeing what I'm seeing. And then I formulate a thought and then I rinse that out, another thought, until it's something that I'm willing to share. So, but I do that quickly, so don't think that takes too long. So the next one is, I'm of the belief that a good amount of people use kids for likes and views. And no, not likes and views like we said, create a kid's Instagram page so you can get brand deals. No. Likes and views like you don't really have a personality to be on social media, and that's okay. Not everybody, social media was so new or was new that we all just signed up, right? Just, it's an experiment. It's cool. But now that it's been here and now that we kind of see what it is and what it turned into, maybe not what it is, but what it turned into, not a lot of people should be on social media. And I would put myself in that. I don't think I should be on social media, even though I'm trying to build content. It's a great line I walk every day. It's very fun to despise the very thing I'm pretty good at, I think. But anyway, I don't think a lot of people should be on social media, but because they are, they're forcing themselves to do something that they're not really comfortable with, and then they eventually just kind of shut it down and just don't post anything and become one of those people that just repost everything, and they'll post something. They'll post what the internet tells them, right? If you're in a relationship, you got to post you have to post your anniversary post. You got to post if anything, have a date night, you have to do that, right? So you see people that like do that, and it's just like, you could have just kept that, right? Because you're not one to share, and I'm not either. I'm not currently. Again, I did the social media thing. I played the game. I was posting. I'm trying to sell y'all a vibe that I'm doing. I did it all. So I am speaking to you as a person who was knee deep in social media to a science. Like, I'm reacting to things. I'm talking to things. I'm doing captions. And I was one of those people. I currently have found out that if I really, really think about it, I don't really care for social media. And there's a lot of people like that. And so then what happens is, if it's, there's probably like two things. There's a couple of things that no matter who you post it, how you post it, when you post it, it's always going to just be love, because it's kind of like an unwritten rule that you just don't say anything negative out loud. People probably talk shit behind your back all the time. But like, a wedding, it don't care how ghetto you think that wedding or ugly or it don't care. You see two people, I see two people get married on my timeline. I'm all about love. So even if we ain't never talked or we ain't talked in a while, congratulations, beautiful. Good luck. Congratulations, beautiful. Babies, congratulations. I don't care the story. I don't care how you had it. I don't care who the father or who. Congratulations at the end of the day, right? And so I'm sure people pick up on that. So then you see people now have a purpose, they think, to be online, because before they don't belong online. So their brains don't even operate like how to capture something while they out and post that, or how to edit. You're just not for that. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So then you see something easy like a baby, and then you document the entire thing, all the appointments, all the setbacks. Like, I've seen people post wild stuff, like, sad things. And I'm just like, man, like, I'm always 50-50 on that, because while we would say you don't need to be crying online and you don't need to be putting your business online, at the same time, I always say this to people is sometimes that's their outlet and that's the family that they have. Maybe the real people around them are useless and don't give them that comfort, and they find it online. So I'm never clowning you for doing that, but I'm saying by documenting it and putting all that stuff out, it's going to be likes all the time. Oh my God, you're so beautiful. How's the baby? 6 months, what's going on? And you come to a point where that baby comes, and either, like me, became very aware of what I was doing and what was in my life and who was in my life. And I've been doing a lot of fat cutting lately. Like, I want this beautiful child to be in an environment that is healthy. Or you go, I've already started this, and now the baby's here, and I've been getting likes and love, and people want to know what's the next thing. So now I'm telling the next thing. We just got dispatched. We're at home. First day home. First food. And you would carry all the way into the trends. And there's nothing wrong with that. But just understand that you can possibly be using your kids for likes and views. And then if that turns into something successful, now everything you're doing is on the back of this newborn, right? And for some, that could just be the business model and everything goes. But for some people, it can get out of hand. And then you see people who share a lot go, respect our privacy, or everybody's in my business. You ever follow people that will share a lot and then in the same breath wonder why people in their business or like asking for private? It's because they didn't realize what was going on. And then when they did, it was like, whoa, too many people knows too much about what's going on. Let me ask to respect my privacy. So that's how that works. So I would just say, if you look and see that you're only posting your kid stuff for people's reactions and likes and views, just stop. Just stop. And that's what I did. I removed everything from my page and I stopped. I'm a reposter now. Like I said earlier, my wife posts something, I'll repost it. Or if there's just something there creative, because again, I am a content person, so my brain does work both sides, where leave me alone, give me my privacy, and also, oh, this is a great pic with the song and the caption. My brain does that too. So I do both, but mostly it's been the privacy route just because she's still early. So now I'm just like, I kind of want to hone in all that energy and keep it to myself, selfishly, whatever. But if you find yourself just posting, and that's all you're posting, and that's the only thing you get reactions, you post stuff about your kids, likes, views, stories, everything's going crazy, and then you got this new business idea, or you had some success at your job, or you got a new fit, or you working out and it's empty, pay attention to that. Pay attention to that, because that's what happened to me. I post my podcast, I post pictures, I post all this talented stuff and going to concerts and all this stuff. And on Instagram, not everywhere, but on Instagram where I know everyone, it's just regular, flop, regular. I post my daughter, hundreds of views, so it's just like, wait a minute. For me, I'm like, this isn't what this is for me. I'm not finna put my whole kid out for the foreground to generate energy. I'll just let the page die. I'll just remove it and just do what I want and post what I want and don't even focus on it, which is what I'm doing now. Like, I'm mainly on YouTube, and I kind of deleted all those apps, kind of like a detox, but also just to kind of recenter what's going on in life. I suggest people do that too. So yeah, using your kids for likes and views, that's mistakenly, but there's also people maliciously who do it because they're aware of the same things. And the other point I was going to say was they're not really caring for them offline. So you have those parents, and I have observation, who knows that that's what generates likes, who knows that that's bulletproof, that you can't flop with baby stuff, and will strategically post that at certain points during certain times and get all that love that they think they're getting temporarily. But meanwhile, in real life, don't really care about that kid. That's a lot of people. And that, I think, seeing that frustrates me more than believing that everyone is just honestly posting their kids. Like, I believe that a lot of people are using their kids for likes and views, and they're not really caring to them the way they should offline. That's my belief. That's all. Who, when, where, why, doesn't matter. That's just my belief, my observations. And that has kind of turned me off from social media, as well as just kind of, we always assume that people online are living the fake life and aren't really doing what they say they're doing. But when it gets close to home, you know what I'm saying? When you start seeing people you see in real life, real time, do the lie, it kind of dilutes how great social media should be and can be. And for somebody like me, when you see it enough consistently, then it just gets skewed with how I'm going to be participating online. So currently, as I record this, I'm not on TikTok, I'm not on Instagram, I'm not on Reddit, I'm not on Facebook, I'm not on Twitter. Those are the ones I have. I'm strictly making content for YouTube, because YouTube is still, to me, is still about the content. Not much about profiles and talking to each other. It's just strictly, what do you have to offer to this? And that's where I live at right now, right? But once you see a lot of that fake stuff and a lot of that inconsistencies, it's just like, do I even want to participate on the same thing you're doing? Like, now when I do something, I feel like it's not being seen in its proper light, because there's so many people diluting the game with that. Like, there's so many people pushing narratives that something that I find precious, that like, I'm going to share. I'm not one to share, but I want to share this, just to think that it just gets received wrong, or I'm participating. And that's, again, this is my psyche on it. It don't rock with me. So I was like, just get all this off my phone and let me just try to be a parent, also work out, eat good, and not have I'm going to share this. Because I think that's the problem, is that we'll try something that we really need to do for our lives, work out, eat good, take care of our kids, do something. And all we're thinking about is sharing it. And then when people go, oh, wow, congrats, it's the validation, when the validation needs to be right here. Like, when I do something for my daughter, the validation goes here. I'm happy with what I did. Don't care what y'all think. And that is what is the biggest trick on a lot of people on social media, is even someone like me who's like, I'm not into that stuff and whatever. I still had you still want it, whatever you share, you want it to do good at the end of the day, right? If I go run 8 miles, and I'm gonna post my 8-mile run. I want everybody to go like, dang, that's great. And then when people just watch it and don't do nothing, you're like, dang. But then see right there, when you have that feeling of like, dang, why didn't nobody? You already missed the point that you did it, and you should be happy with yourself. That's a social media thing. So yeah, when I see the kids, when I feel like kids are getting exploited online, it's cutthroat for me, man. And I think I'm very zero tolerance when it comes to kids, even more. Like, I was always just of a moral standard, like, children are innocent. But like, when you have your own and you think about how adults our age or whatever will look at a little kid, an innocent kid who knows nothing, and begin to manipulate them and have them do things you want them to do that's not right, whether it's something as devious as trafficking and sexual, all the way to something that's smile so I can put you online. Now get the F out my face, right? That just, it's just annoying. So that's my perspective on kids and social media, right? Commercials attacking kids, Hollywood's attacking kids, parents using kids for liking views, and not really caring for the kids offline. I think everyone should just, when they have their kids, just disappear. And you and your partner start creating the validation at home. I like the way you do it. I like the way you're doing it. We're validating each other. We don't need to go outside and try to get a like and a view. And again, I understand there are people, I do it, my wife does it, who just make content for content's sake. It looks great. It gives you a vibe, gives you a feel. There's a space for that. Unfortunately, just like, one bad apple rolls in front of a bunch, there is more people who go viral and more people who are thrown in your face who are clearly the opposites. They're using their kids for likes and views, their family for likes and views, and they don't really care for them offline. I'm speaking for people I've observed in real life, but I can also look at certain families and go, I can't give you 100% because I'm not there, but it's a good 80% chance that this is all bad. And then, 3 months later, a year later, 2 years later, the truth comes out and families break up. You don't wish that, but you kind of saw it from the beginning, right? So anyway, yeah, do what you want. Like I said at the beginning, there's no one right way to parent in parenting. So I always believe that. That was just my perspective on kids and social media. Again, before I get out of here, shouts out to all the parents to be, parents, grandparents, adopted parents, step parents, anybody that is over a kid, coach, whatever, and you're guiding them correctly and you're trying to get them through this crazy thing called life. Shouts out to y'all, and I will be here for the next episode. Still ain't got that log out yet, but yeah, I see y'all soon. Peace.